Good morning everyone, let's get today's analysis started. We're on EU, we have EU on the top, DXY on the bottom. Now what's this daily chart showing us? So we can see previous day, Friday, was bearish, another bearish move day. You can see we've reached pretty far down and ultimately closed out with this long leg, maybe like a low test looking candle. Okay, so we have quite a large bearish daily leg here, and inevitably we're in a discount. Okay, well, we've taken plenty of sell side liquidity, of course, from previous daily lows. Now, so I've marked out this sell side liquidity low here, right, which will just be a previous candle low from past data on the daily. If we look at DXY has swept a recent buy side liquidity high on the daily chart, right, which made it have that pullback from that large bullish candle, which probably explains this price action here as well. So buy side liquidity had been swept on DXY on the high time frame, which is great, which caused this reaction here. Already today we can see we've taken the previous daily low on DXY. We've opened up very bearish, taken that sell side liquidity, and we've taken the previous daily high on EU as well, coming into that daily imbalance there. So we could possibly continue bearish from here. We have taken that fresh buy side liquidity. We are obviously in a discount, but the trend just may continue. Dollar may go on its way pretty much since that US election with all this momentum, right? So we'll go down to the 4 hour now, see what that looks like. So that 4 hour structure is clearly bearish, right? We've pulled back to 4 hour order block up here, broken down again. Now we have gapped open this morning, but we can still see we have a large bearish leg here, making that lower low. And we've pulled back to within that leg. There is the 4 hour order block above. We've gone into the imbalance, but we've taken that previous daily high buy side liquidity, so that may make us move bearish. So things to keep note of is we have this gap here, which is an imbalance, right? Price may be drawn toward that from this buy side liquidity we've taken already today, right? You can see we're bearish in this current 4 hour candle. So possible we go to fill this area, same as on DXY. Of course, it's left behind a big imbalance. Maybe it will come back to fill that zone here from that previous daily low sell side liquidity, having mitigated this imbalance as well. So we're in a bearish trend, bullish trend, right? But we've taken buy side liquidity up here, and that's made us pull back somewhat. We've filled some imbalances here and taken some sell side liquidity, so we could continue that trend and continue that bearish trend, or it could be a pullback to fill this zone here. Optimally, we would have come up and mitigated this 4 hour order block here, so price still may want to head high at first. So everything looks bearish, but we still have this draw on price above here, especially on the EU. Price may want to come and mitigate this before maybe continuing that leg down. So bit 50-50, but I think we've got the trend and buy side liquidity, sell side liquidity on our side for bearish move today. I'm just keeping my awareness of this, which would be a more optimal area with this higher time frame POY. So let's go down to the hourly. Let's see what that looks like. Yeah, so the hourly is just as bearish, just as clear. We made this hourly bearish leg here, right? So if I just draw this out, this high to this low, you can see we swept above all of this consolidation in price here and made that low, right? We left behind this hourly order block. Now prices open up and gapped right into that order block here. So the reason I've removed the order block drawing is just because we've gone above it. So more importantly to me is we've taken the buy side liquidity. However, we have closed our candles within this order block as well. So yes, the order block is present, but we've taken buy side liquidity. We have this imbalance below. We're in a bearish trend. So I do see that draw on price to at least this point here, right? So to go with trend, we could definitely go and make a new lower low, but this is a nice draw on price as well. Buy side liquidity, order block present, sell side liquidity taken from DXY as well. Now, as I said on the 4 hour, we still have a 1 hour draw on price above with this order block, and we also have that same 1 hour order block present on DXY. So it's definitely there to possibly draw price in, but like I said, we have many confluences now already to go short. This current half an hour of this hourly candle is very bearish as well. So perhaps something's gone on here on the M15, we'll have to see. It's a bit of consolidation through that Asia range after sweeping this buy side liquidity. So we'll be waiting for the lower time frame to give us a signal as to which direction it's going to move this morning. So at least for the time being, I definitely would be leaning towards a with trend bias down to here, but with the negative that we have this above and this below. Okay, with all those confluences on side, I'm definitely more biased to going short to at least fill this zone here. So that's what I see. So let's go down to the M15. Let's see what a trade may look like this morning. Right, so on the M15, looks like we're literally just breaking down now. We've made this break of structure lower low on the M15 time frame. So as you can see there, it's quite clear. We took that buy side liquidity. We ranged throughout Asia. What would have been amazing is if this swept that Asia high before breaking down. Nonetheless, the breakdown is present. So we have this possible M15 order block around this zone here. DXY, if we expand, has also now broken structure as well on the M15. So we've closed above this high here with that high low, high now being formed. Same draw on price here after taking this sell side liquidity. We've got the same thing here. We've got some internal buy side liquidity, I guess, swept from like these highs above here. But it would have been a lot better for me if we had taken above all of these highs. So I would have preferred that. So I do like what I'm seeing. Like I said, with all the confluences I discussed on the higher time frame, we have this negative above, but my bias is towards shorts. I do see the possibility of shorting from this M15 order block around here. I'd probably put my stop loss maybe just above that Asia high, and then targeting whatever your target is. Mine would be around 3% into this imbalance here, going with trend as well, right? There is a news announcement which is read on TradingView, but in general I don't believe that's red news, so we'll see what that is. Back to the example, we have a break of structure, some internal buy side liquidity taken, respecting that Asia high at the moment. We have buy side liquidity from previous daily high, though it was taken obviously some time ago, where with trend we have a draw on price below. We have breaks of structure on the M15 with an order block behind, and the same on DXY. DXY seems to be making moves towards this zone here as well. So I could definitely see this happening. Of course, what we'd want is a pullback to this zone. It may pull back and leave inducement if we're lucky, depends on how far it breaks down, and could look something like this to go down. But it may just come back and tap this zone and move. Definite possibility of a trade here if it respects the high. Like I said, it would have looked much better, so I'm a bit cautious if we had swept above this high. Because we've got sort of relative equal highs now, price may come up and sweep it again before breaking down. But this break of structure does look good. Considering it's taken all the sell side liquidity below Asia, it's not exactly bouncing back. Now, of course, if you wanted to be cautious of these highs being swept again, you could wait. You could wait for price to pull back, break down, get a continuation. So if price does break down from here, maybe it'll leave behind an order block in this zone here, and you could get some sort of pullback to there to then continue short. So we'll see how that goes. So that's what I see on EU. That's my main opportunity for this morning. So let's move on to GJ and see what that looks like. So GJ has also been quite bearish of recent. Of course, we mitigated this order block, right? We had our bearish leg, pulled back, daily order block, rejected, bearish days following. We've made a new lower low. On the daily, we haven't closed below this low, but perhaps we have on the lower time frame. We have left behind an imbalance with a new order block now. So maybe this sell side liquidity will give some sort of pullback. We're definitely going to be in a bit of a discount, okay? But the trend is currently bearish, as we can see with these lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, right? So let's move on to the 4 hour. Let's see what that looks like. All right, so the 4 hour has indeed closed lower below that low that we was discussing on the daily. So we have a nice 4 hour bearish leg from this high to this low. We're definitely in the discount of that leg. Now currently we are at an order block here on the 4 hour, and we may or may not reject this area. As I said, we are in a discount, but there's definitely some sort of resistance around here. After taking this sell side liquidity, right, there's clearly a sell side liquidity low here that we've taken out. That is producing this pullback. Maybe we go higher. Maybe we take out this previous daily high or come up into this imbalance with order block zone here in a premium. So keep my eye out for that. But the structure is bearish and we have a resistance to deal with first at the moment. So let's go down to the hourly. Let's see what that looks like for us. Yeah, so on the hourly, the premium resistance is clear. We've got this hourly bearish leg here, took sell side liquidity, right? We have a discount premium. we've pulled back very correctively to this POY here, right? So we're into this last block of the hourly order block POY, and we seem to have rejected that, and for the last 40 minutes now we're very bearish. A lot of bearish momentum coming into this. So this was a nice corrective pullback, rejection, and we're probably breaking down now on the lower time frame. So I think this does look good for shorts as well. Clear bearish structure, and just waiting for that order flow to come back in after this pullback. So let's go down to the M15. Let's see what that might look like for a trade today. So as we can see on the M15, we've pulled back right up into the M15 order block, right? That was within that 1 hour order block. Obviously, I'm not the type to just set an order there, because after this sell side liquidity, we may have come for these equal highs here. But either way, we're now breaking down, right? A lot of bearish momentum this morning into London. I don't see a clear trade, just because the structure isn't as clear. Like taking out a low like this, that'd be very clear. We have these sort of internal lows here, so on the M5 it may look a bit clearer. So yeah, we've broken structure on the M5. We have left behind an M5 order block here, but I do prefer my order blocks with like a sweep of buy side liquidity. So there's multiple scenarios I see here. Let's say if we were to look for a trade now, we have an M15 order block here to use, which would be of course a huge stop, right? If you wanted to get in there somewhere around here and put your stop loss above this high. Now GJ has it in it to move those pips all the way down to these lows, so that's no problem for risk reward, but it's probably not how I would enter this trade. If we go down to the M5 as well, we have this M5 order block we just discussed, which may look a bit better, right, for you to get an entry from. So I do see the possibility of this. However, the stop loss I would say is just risky above these highs. We have to make sure that it would respect those highs, right, which there's no way of knowing. So we have break of structure here, order block left behind with imbalance. We set our order around this zone here, stop loss just above the high, right, enter around there, targeting whatever your risk reward target is, and then we'd be waiting for a possible corrective pullback right into this zone to go short. Now we may not get a corrective, but that's what it would look like, something like this. So clear break of structure, mitigated a high time frame POY, rejected it, broke down, broke structure on a lower time frame, left behind this order block imbalance to go short, continuing in that direction and the trend from the higher time frame. I think personally I won't be entering this, but I do see the potential. What I would probably wait for is the continuation now. So just deleting this, I'll probably wait for price to pull back into this, break down again. So break structure below this low, leaving behind M15 or M5 order block here with imbalance. Then we can get a nice pullback into it to go short again towards those lows. Now this may not happen of course, but I think that's what I would look for, just to see that continuation of order flow after breaking this structure here, because I don't think I have a safe stop loss at this point there. So another break of structure around, say, this area here, possible inducement during this pullback around here, set my order to go short from here, stop loss just above the high, aiming towards that discount again. So I think that's what I'll wait for personally. So that's everything. I hope that was clear. I hope you gained value from that. Any questions, let me know in the comments. Remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys soon.